Hey guys, so I'm Bsc, founder, owner of Bsc. I'm basically, I'd say, a high performance coach and what you can call an everyday athlete in the gym every day, training. So a hybrid person in the fitness industry. Outside of that, just a regular dude. Bsc, long story, even though it's been around for 4 years, registered as a company. It started, I'd say, 10 years ago when I entered the gym. What inspired me to start this brand was I just loved training, I loved competing, loved working out, and I saw I had good potential, qualified coach, sports scientist, and I wanted to put it out there. Basically started out of COVID, so inspiration was I was pushed against the wall and came up with, cool fitness brand. Vision, mission is to just make people better day to day using strength and conditioning. So using physical activity, I just want to make them the best optimal athletes if they're not competing on a professional level, just everyday, stronger, fitter, healthier, using physical conditioning. This one was quite easy. So if you look at Bsc, it's Bsc Strength and Conditioning. So Bsc, my surname Bsc, strength and conditioning, that's basically what I specialize in. The strength component, the conditioning component, I put that together. With regards to the look and feel of the brand, you can see Bsc, it used to have strength and conditioning underneath. And I really enjoyed just the look of Bsc, so I dropped the strength and conditioning. I sent Bsc Strength and Conditioning to one of my friends. They sent me about 10 to 15 different designs a few years ago. And as I saw that one, instant I knew it was the one. I just felt it really. I didn't overthink it. It was pretty easy coming up with that. I'd say there's a lot of sports scientists, a lot of strength and conditioning specialists. What makes me different is I've worked with a variety of different sports. I myself have competed in a variety of different training domains, different competitions, be it running, swimming, cycling, triathlons, powerlifting competitions. I've done it myself. I've seen what I've had to do to prepare for it. On the flip side, I've worked with high-level individuals, Olympians, professional fighters, professional dancers. I've worked with general population, your everyday gym goers. So I have the skills necessary to hit any market, using the strength and conditioning as the catalyst to making them a better athlete or person. Backstory, this brand was started out of one of the biggest pandemics the world has ever seen, COVID-19. So I was spending a year abroad and I came back looking to go over again. COVID hit, sanctions hit, and I was in my parents' garage. I'd moved back in with them and I basically bought a few pieces of equipment, kettlebells, a squat rack, barbell, and from there built the brand from the garage and to the studio it is today. So challenges, wow, COVID-19 pandemic, sanctions, being shut down, our industry wasn't allowed to stay open. We worked around that from training online, pushing out videos, Instagram. So over a 2-year period, I would say initially, there were some insane challenges just with regards to the pandemic, sanctions, and not being allowed to actually do any of the things that we're doing today because everyone was homebound. Anybody wanting to get better using strength and conditioning, I feel like it's for everybody, be it a professional athlete, general population. Strength and conditioning and Bsc trains people to just live a better, healthier life. So if you want to get better, healthier, fitter, stronger, build the posture, build necessary muscles to make you a better athlete, a better person, using strength and conditioning as a catalyst, that's open to everybody. Right now, group classes, personal training. The growth I'd like to see, I would like to move more down into high performance athletes from a personal training point of view. I would like to actually just keep it running how it is. It's an awesome community. Everyone comes, they know what they're doing. If there's a new person that's jumping into the class, everyone's welcoming. It's a solid community, I would say, from classes to group runs to just every day just getting better. I went to university, I did a few in-person courses, a lot of online courses. I'm constantly reading and trying to better myself in the performance industry, and through that, I'm gaining the necessary resources and skills to better other individuals. So when it comes to sourcing and creating, gaining a lot of inspiration from the leaders in the fitness industry. So the likes of Australian strength coach, Aaron Horshik, the Squat University. So just identifying the key role players worldwide and gaining inspiration and education from them. I'm open to, I pay for courses every month, whatever I'm getting, people are investing into me, I'm reinvesting into my own education. I feel like this industry, it's a lifelong journey. There's always new research, new topics, new ways of doing things. Obviously sticking to the basics, the fundamentals, but staying with the trends. So sourcing, creating is gaining inspiration, stealing like an artist, learning, taking from it, and then recreating it as my own. Giving credit to the guys that I've taken it from, because I don't want to just steal that, not say, you know what, I actually learned it from this guy or this lady and putting it out there. Significant Tokyo Olympics, Alex Lindbergh, he went to the Tokyo Olympics, so I was his strength coach. That was really awesome, that was organic. We both started out as mates on a cycling course, a cycling Australian course, and he was like, dude, can you just help me basically prepare? And I can consider him as a brother. So even though he's got his Alex Lindbergh brand, I've got my Bsc, we've collaborated for years. And now more recent, I've worked with a few jiu-jitsu guys. One of them just went and won his title at Submission Kings on the weekend. That was really cool brand exposure and an awesome relationship that I formed. So all these relationships, collaborations, this type of industry is very personal. When you're dealing with an athlete or you're dealing with an individual, you have to hit it off from the beginning. Like, I'm trying to invest all my resources, all my knowledge that I know, and give the tools to these individuals to ultimately just make them better. So you're spending a lot of time, you're talking a lot, I'm checking in a lot, we're having our coffees, we're training. So they either going to become your best friend or brother, sister, or you're going to cut it from day one. So whatever collaboration I've entered, it's been an awesome collaboration. Cool question. Basically, with all the sanctions, the COVID, I didn't know I'd be here today. I always had that goal, I wanted to open a gym, but rewind a few years ago, I didn't know it would be this layout, this setup. The growth started out in a garage with a few kettlebells, a few dumbbells. If you look at the look and feel now of my studio, it's very similar, a Scandinavian, minimalist, the essentials needed for training. I've worked in a few gyms, I have a few mates that own gyms, and I just gain inspiration from each one of those. So from a studio point, a facility point of view, the growth went from a garage to a boutique studio, a little hidden gym in Johannesburg. From a client perspective, I've come across a lot of clients, a good retention rate. A lot of them have been with me for a few years now. And growth point of view, it's just gone from athlete to athlete, individual to individual, and an awesome community being built. There are quite a few. The ones that stand out for me, obviously, as I've said, Alex Lindbergh going to the Tokyo Olympics. I've had clients lose over 30 kgs, a few of them. That's a big one from a general population, just getting healthier, fit, strong, and gaining confidence within themselves. We've got Chris now that just won his title at Submission Kings. We've got Eddie that competed at the EFC, competed in UAE with fighting. So those, I would say, are some of the top success stories, and just ultimately not even looking at the Olympics, but just if you're coming in and I'm seeing you getting better day to day, that's what keeps me going. Like, that's ultimately why I'm in this game, is to take somebody that doesn't know what to do, give them the resources and change their lifestyle. It is going to be worldwide. I just want to show strength and conditioning isn't for everyone. It's simple if it's done right. It's literally plug and play. If you're a creative artist, you're using strength and conditioning to just build a solid physiological and aesthetic. Doesn't even have to be a cover model. Like, that isn't the goal. It's just feeling good within yourself from training. So everyone can commit to it worldwide. I just wanted out there to show it's simple periodization, and you are going to be a better individual. Simple tips. Do what you love. It sounds so cliche, honestly. I heard it growing up my whole life. Do what you love and you will never work a day in your life. But I'm here to say it's honestly what you have to do. You ultimately, as an entrepreneur, are going to be investing so much time, energy, mental strain, that some days you're going to be like, why am I actually doing it? But if you've got that vision and you've got that passion from the get-go, you're never going to question why you're doing it. It's going to be just so black and white and in your face that I want to just make people better. It's not a selfish perspective. It's not a selfish route that I'm taking. If you're money driven, there's many industries that you can make money, and definitely go for it. Like, if that's what your goal is. But from a entrepreneurial space in the fitness industry, you have to love what you do and you have to be committed yourself. Opening the doors to my first facility. So growing up or getting into it, I went and studied my undergrad sports psychology, went on to sports science, did a few courses. Rewind to first year, I was studying full-time and working full-time in a gym, picking up weights after individuals. I was just working the gym floor, basically utility. And I always knew I was going to open a facility, like I said previously or earlier, that I didn't know exactly how I would open it, because obviously things change, a lot of different opportunities arise. But yeah, opening the doors to my first facility were probably the proudest moment. It was after a rough 2 years of lockdowns and sanctions. And looking back at it, it was actually quite easy. In the moment, it was stressful. I was putting everything into it, what I'd saved up, and it was the best thing that I've ever done. It's created the life I have today. A famous quote from Jocko Willink: discipline equals freedom. With routine, you're going to see results. Consistency, I would say, I just want to live a healthier, better life, which drives me. I don't want to get to a point where I can't physically do the things that I need to do. I always want to be in control of my body. I want to know the days that I'm waking up and not feeling well, I can instantly pinpoint, you know what, I'm not switched on. So through training and learning the different mechanisms in your body personally, I just want to live a long lifestyle of just completing events and being able to be ready for anything. So wake up, you ask me to run a 10K, I should say yes. You ask me to do an ice bath, I should say yes. Compete in jiu-jitsu, yes. I should be physically ready for anything. The monster mentality, what you just said, is ultimately confidence. It's just knowing what you have. And if you don't have a skill, don't say, I'm not good enough. That's just not your skill. Everybody's made up differently. So I've just learned to harness my skills, identify my skills, build on them, and then put that as my forward in the forefront. I'm not trying to do something that I don't know. If I don't know something, I'm going to be humble and honest and say, you know what, I do know somebody that can help you and guide you in that direction. But with regards to that monster mentality, I've just built confidence in my craft, in myself and what I'm good at, I would say, and just building on what I'm good at. This whole thing of build on your weaknesses, I'm all for. Obviously, if you lack in mobility, I'm looking at it from a training perspective, we got to build onto that. But if you identify I'm really good at that, put everything into it and go forward with that. Your best of the coach is somebody that you can call that's going to answer. that's going to offer their best hand, that's going to motivate you, that you actually saying, wow, I can do this. From an athlete, I just love competing in every single event. That whole ready for anything mentality, putting myself out there, being fit from a cardiovascular to strength to mobility. I just love what your body can do. So an athlete, everything. Discipline to me is sitting down and realizing, well, saying to yourself, what do I actually want? And then going out there and doing that. So you got a lot of people in the room that are, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do everything, and just, it's 1000% good to dream. But discipline is sitting down and saying, what are realistic goals that I want to achieve? Then putting the measures into play and waking up every day and ticking those measures off and completing them. Building that routine, building that consistency. You basically getting the work done. With training, competing, with the question now with athletes, everybody has a different story. So fitness training is an outlet. So where some people find different outlets, going out, partying and stuff, the guys and athletes, ladies and athletes that have committed into performance, it's an outlet. It might be not having the confidence growing up, or just realizing from an early age they're just really good and that's the route that they want to follow. So it's an outlet and it's a coping mechanism all in one. It's been etched on my body from when I was 16. It is be curious, not judgmental. Everyone has their own story. Everyone has their own path. No judgment should be in the room anywhere. You don't know what that person's been through. You don't know what they've hurdles and obstacles they've overcome. So approach a room, a setting, approach an industry, just being curious, taking in, absorbing it, and not just casting judgment out there, because everyone's on their journey and you should just worry and focus on knowing that.